Welcome to the next episode of Decants with D. I am your host, and I'm Dietmar Ostermann, and I'm the regular guy from Long Island. This episode brings us back to France, and in France to the region of Bordeaux. You all know that France is the second largest producer of wine as it relates to volume. They're also the second largest producer as it relates to acreage under wine. So it's a very important wine country, but Bordeaux is special. Bordeaux produces over 700 million bottles per year and has over 7,000 chateaus in its area. And just in comparison, Napa Valley has about 500 vineyards in the valley. Bordeaux has 7,000 chateaus. They are dividing Bordeaux into 57 subregions called AOCs. And of course, in this particular show, I want to dive more into the left bank of Bordeaux as opposed to the right bank. The left bank is that part of Bordeaux where more often you would find wines that are dominated by Cabernet Sauvignon, whereas on the right bank you find wines that are mostly dominated by Merlot. There's obviously, as always, exceptions. On the left bank, the most important areas is the Medoc as well as the Graves, and on the right-hand side you have interesting and famous appellations like Pomerol or Saint-Emilion. And within the left bank, I'd like to specifically focus on Medoc. And Medoc is where most of the important AOCs that everybody has heard of are located. Medoc, Saint-Estephe, Margaux, Paulliac, Saint-Julien, and others. I specifically like Margaux, I also like Paulliac, and I like Saint-Julien. Why? Because they're not as close to the end of the Gironde, where the Gironde goes into the Atlantic Ocean and where the weather is a little bit cooler, like the Medoc area is. And Paulliac is described as the area that has the best gravel soil, an excellent terroir. And when you go back to the 1855 classifications of Medoc, that is when French merchants getting ready for a show tried to classify in Medoc, just in that region of France, which are the best wines. Initially they nominated 60, later on it was expanded to 61, and today we call these from the Medoc region the first 5 growths. Growth 1, the second growth, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. And the first growth, as you all have heard, only has 5 wines in it. That is Chateau Margaux, Chateau Haut-Brion, Chateau Mouton Rothschild, Chateau Lafite Rothschild, and Chateau Latour. 3 of those, Lafite Rothschild, Mouton Rothschild, and Latour, are actually located in the village of Paulliac. That's why Paulliac arguably is one of the most important wine AOCs in Bordeaux. I have here displayed some Saint-Julien second growths. My favorites are the Ducoupé-Callieu Saint-Julien as well as the Léovel Barton. I used to have first growths, but they are way too expensive. Back in the day in 1997, a friend of mine and I bought a case of Chateau Margaux. I think at that point the bottle was $125. Today they're close to $1,000. And I don't drink wine that expensive. But the second growth you can get for $150 to $200. And obviously when you go down, here is the Chateau Cattenac Brown. That's the third growth. Those, when they are first released, you can probably steal for $65, $70, $75, and they are great bargains. I will taste here with you 3 wines. One is the Chateau du Tertre, which is a 2015 Chateau Margaux. 2015 was an excellent year. The next one is Chateau Estephe. It's a Saint in Estephe 2010. 2010 also was an excellent year. And the last wine we are tasting is the Chateau du Tertre. It's a 2011 from Paulliac. So a Paulliac wine, a Margaux wine, and a Saint Estephe wine. That's the purpose here, to introduce those three villages to you, and arguably three of the best AOCs on the left bank of Bordeaux. Let's get into it and open up this first bottle. Generally speaking, in Bordeaux, 60% of all the grapes planted are Merlot, about 25% Cabernet based. Since these are left bank wines, they're all majority Cabernet. Okay, I'm gonna decant these wines. I decant French Bordeaux typically, no matter whether they're young or old. There's different reasons for decanting young, different reasons for decanting old. But I like to give the wine a chance to interact with oxygen. Okay, I said 2015 was an excellent vintage. It was rated by Wine Spectator 94 points. 2010 was rated 99 points. 2011 only 91 points. This is the vintage overall on the left bank of Bordeaux. And what is important here, and this is what I wanted to point out, that 2016 and 2018 were again ranked fabulous. 16 was rated 97 points by Wine Spectator and 18 96 points. This is for the entire vintage. So if you like any of those Bordeaux that I'm introducing to you, you can try to get these older vintages that I have here that I'm trying, because 2016, 2018 is way too young to drink right now. But on the other hand, the idea is buy some for $60, put them away for 5 years, and wait until they are worth $300, and then decide to either sell them or drink them. So let's get this started. This is the Chateau du Tertre. All right, this is a very, very dark ruby red, almost purple color. I'm very impressed. Great color. I also do like the conservative label design and the dark bottle. So overall, from an appearance standpoint and from how the wine looks, very impressed. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. You can detect some slight tannins, and it's not surprise. This is 100% Cabernet Sauvignon wine. Typically, a lot of the Bordeaux are blended. This is 100% Cabernet. Very beautiful aromas. I'm very impressed. Let's give it a whirl. Beautiful. In the mouth, a little bit more cherry, maybe even some flavors of strawberry. Definitely also some of the black fruit, blackberry. It's juicy. Not overbearing, but juicy. The finish is long, slight tannins, but it drinks very, very well now, the 2015 in 2021 now, so 6 years old. I could easily see it getting better for another 2, 3, or 4 years. French Bordeaux last long. They're crafted to be 10 years or older before you drink them. So this is the 5th gross. Very impressed. I bought this wine when it first came out for $52. If you want to go on Vivino right now, it sells for $75. It's rated 4.0 by Vivino, 93 points at Wine Spectator. I give it a 4.5. I'm very pleased. Okay, that brings us to the second contestant, Chateau Estephe. This one is not a Grand Cru. Grand Cru are the 61 wines from Medoc that are in the 5-tier ratings. So this is a Bourgeois, Cru Bourgeois. So that's the next 250 or so wines that are significantly more affordable, but also very, very good. Let's check this wine out. The color is beautiful, not as dark as the Du Tertre, but very good. Yeah, dark, nice lines in the glass. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. More dusty, white then and there in the nose, also some earthy characters. More black fruit than red fruit. Overall dusty, elegant, not quite as fantastic as the Du Tertre. Let's give it a whirl. Cherry. Very good on the palate. A little bit sour finish. The finish is shorter than the Du Tertre, but overall it tastes like an older French Bordeaux. This wine is now 11 years old. I like it quite a bit. The fruitiness, I don't like the sour finish and the shorter finish. So I rate this wine a 3.8. Okay, that brings us to the last contestant. The Chateau du Tertre, rated 3.9 by the Vivino users, 90 points at the Wine Spectator, and 93 points by James Suckling, somebody else. Corkau. This one gets decanted in my Riedel decanter. Okay, here we go. Pouring a little bit of the new wine into the old glass and shake it around and pour it out so that there are no residuals of the old wine. Okay, let's check this one out. This one is also a 5th gross Grand Cru Classé, and whenever you have a Grand Cru Classé, it says it right there on the bottle. And it also says Au Bac Libéral, which is the vineyard, and Paulliac, which is the village. It does not say which grape it is. Unlike in California at the Cabernets or Merlots, it is assumed that a lot of the French Bordeaux are blended. And these are all Cabernet based, one of them 100% Cabernets, the other ones, this one, the Bac Libéral, is Cabernet and Merlot blend. Beautiful dark color. I also here like the simplicity of the label with the orange band on top and the dark green dark bottle. The Du Tertre was more black with a gold band. So equal in terms of appearance. The wine is dark, ruby red, dark. The lines are not as sophisticated as I saw before in the Du Tertre. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. The fruits are laid back, aromas are laid back. I detect some red berries and some blackberries. Let's give it a whirl. Blackberry fruit overwhelmingly in the mouth. Not quite in balance in the mouth. I was more impressed with the Du Tertre. The finish is long, very rich in the mouth, but a little bit out of balance, I found. So clearly, I give this one less points, a 4.0. Overall, a good effort. Here, a 3.7 for the Ormes d'Empées. And my favorite out of this set is the Chateau Tertre, which is a Margaux wine. And I do like Margaux wines. This is the show. Tried to steal some 2016 and 2018 Bordeaux. They were perfect. And if you're like me and you like more Cabernet-based wines, try some Paulliac, try some Saint Julien, try some Margaux, and you will be happy. I see you next Sunday. Cheers.